Hey everyone, today I'm going to focus on breakfast foods and breakfast nutrition. There's a lot of different schools of thought when it comes to what you need for breakfast. Some people say you should never miss breakfast. Some people say that you should do the intermediate fasting. You guys have heard me talk about that. Or you should do, either the 16 or the 24-hour fasting. Or you should just drink fluids. There's lots of different thoughts, lots of different nutritionists, dietitians, doctors, they have different beliefs. There's one thing you need to know, it's that doctors, scientists, researchers, they always disagree. I've gotten used to it at a young age. I don't get upset when people disagree with me. I understand. I don't make claims that I have all the answers. I simply pass on the knowledge that I have, and I have been able to stay in school through a lot of my career, and so I've been able to see different thought processes. I've gone to state schools, I've gone to private schools, I've gone to Ivy League schools, so I've been exposed to everything. It's kind of funny, someone asked me where I gained the most knowledge, and I would say in all those places. I think public schools are great, I think private schools are great, I think obviously Ivy League schools are great, but if you ask me, is there one that's better than the other? No, I just think they're different. So with food, it's the same way. There's good foods, there's different philosophies, there's all different. I think that sometimes we feel better about ourselves if we try to act like we have all the answers, or if we're better than other people because we eat a certain way or do a certain thing. And really, you just have to find what works for you and for your body, because remember, your body is a city. So let's focus on what we can eat for breakfast and what's good for us in 2020 and the different schools of thought around that. So whether you're deciding to do fasting, you're not eating, you're drinking maybe green tea, black coffee. They don't usually recommend that you drink anything other than that. Some of the fasting, they let you do green juices, so spirulina, kale, chlorella, chlorophyll, all the stuff that's in kind of one of the products I've worked on, which is called Core. Those kinds of greens are good to make in a shake. Some types of fasting will allow you to do that, but a lot of fasting says, just skip the breakfast, wait till lunch, and that way you're giving up those calories. Now, again, a lot of scientists, a lot of doctors don't like that, and some of you guys can't do that with diabetes and insulin and hypoglycemia and different things. So let's just talk about the different options. One of the things that you need to keep in your mind if you're looking at weight is how many calories you are eating. And some of you guys will give up carbs, some of you guys won't. But let's just focus on healthy eating. Of course, you want organic, non-GMO foods. You want to have as healthy of a place for those to come from and to cook those in the most healthy environment. And some people don't want to cook. They choose the raw option. So let's just talk about all of that. I'll let you know what I eat and what I like on a regular basis. A lot of times I will skip breakfast depending on if I'm fasting or doing an intermediate fasting. I sometimes will even skip lunch. It just depends. But on a typical day, if I usually am choosing from 500 to 600 calories a day if I'm doing the intermediate fasting, to 2,000. It just depends on what's going on. But for 2020, I'm focused on the calories. I am focused on how healthy it is and what I need to eat. So one of the things I love is an egg because it's packed full of proteins. I use salt and pepper. I usually put a couple of red chili peppers, the little flakes on it. I also usually use jalapenos. I think I've told a lot of you all, I use those because it's good to fight cancer. It's really good for the body, or at least that's some of the thought processes. And even though I never claim to cure anything, I do think there's certain foods that are healthier for your body if you have autoimmune disorders and cancer. So you need to stick to really clean foods. I'm sure you guys have heard that it's better if foods have 1 to 5 ingredients rather than putting like 20 things into your body that you don't even know the names. So I tell people a lot, if you're reading the back of an ingredient and it has more than 5 things in it, you probably want to steer away from it. If you don't understand the words in it, you need to steer away from it until you figure out what's in it. But your foods are more wholesome that are simple. So I usually do an egg, salt and pepper. I'll put some jalapeno on it, and sometimes a slice of avocado. Now I can stick to around 100 calories if I do that. Now if I add half of an avocado, that's different. Avocados are really, really good. They're packed full of superfoods and minerals and vitamins and all kinds of things. but you can't eat a lot because it has fats. You have to watch what you're doing if you're counting calories. So I would say on a typical day, if I eat breakfast, normally I am sticking to 100 to 200 calories. I do like whole oats as well. And when I do that, I'll usually add a little bit of granola, or I'll add a teaspoon or tablespoon of peanut butter, and I like to use the raw peanut butter, and I also like almond butter. So when I'm cooking the egg, going back to that, I do use MCT oil or avocado oil or grass-fed butter. I also like to do a shot of apple cider vinegar because that gets me going, and I know that it's good for my system. And when I get up, I do try to do some weights or to work out before I eat anything. That probably boosts my metabolism personally more than anything. If I get right out of bed and do 30 repetitions of weights on the arms, legs, stomach, and different parts and muscles of my body, it really jumpstarts my system, and I feel different. It wakes me up. I get going a lot easier. Now, sometimes I don't get up early enough to do that because I have to get up around 5:30 in the morning to do that, and sometimes that's hard, but I do try to focus on that. And then, like I said, I either skip breakfast or I go in and I do something that's really simple and basic that will give me protein and veggies, or the fiber that I need to go throughout the day. I love chia seed. I love greens. Like some people, like I've said many times, some people will have greens like kale, spirulina, chlorella, chlorophyll in a shake for breakfast, and they consider that okay with fasting. I typically don't, but some days I will just crave greens, and I'll make a shake out of those. And I'll usually, again, add a jalapeno to whatever I'm making because I like a little spice and I know that it's good for me. But simply eating an egg with jalapenos cut up and salt and pepper and either the avocado oil or MCT oil, and, slice of avocado is really, really good. I mean, it's just packed full of things that taste great. And I think we should talk about that. Let's focus on what tastes great, what we can eat instead of what we can't eat. Now, if you can't give up the carbs and you really need them, I choose a grain bread that only has 60 calories and it's packed full of fiber. It's called Dave's, but different people in different countries have different bread they can use. You want to choose something that's packed with that fiber that you can easily eat, that will sustain you and keep you full, and you want to half it. You don't want to use a lot of bread. So if you half one piece of bread and put that egg and avocado and jalapeno between it with salt and pepper or with red chili flakes, it's really full of energy and protein and vegetables and minerals, and it's really, really good for you. And it tastes great. And I think that's what's so important is being able to enjoy doing this and feel like you're giving yourself a treat, because you are. We either eat to live or we live to eat. And you've got to just turn it around and love your body so much that you're eating to live and to have the best body possible. And believe me, sometimes I don't succeed at that. And sometimes I do, but it's really important to try to focus on that and to get that done. And to feel like you're like having a great meal, because it is a great meal. You got to kind of switch it to the sweet, from the sweets and the carbs to, oh my gosh, this is a healthy, balanced meal. So whether you're doing the 2-week protein and vegetables, or you're adding the bread, or you're doing fiber with your oats and your peanut butter and protein, just focus on eating something healthy. I would say that if you're trying to count calories, you're going to stick to, anywhere from 600 calories, which you cannot do every day. If you do something like that, you've got to do it intermediately, and you shouldn't do more than 2 days a week. And some doctors and some scientists think you shouldn't even do it 2 days a week, that it's too hard on the body. I personally, it works for me, so that's what I do. And I know that that's the best for long-term weight control, and aging, so I love to do that. But some people and some doctors do not suggest it for certain body types, certain blood types, so you will want to eat some bread. And you will want to have those calories up there, at least 1,200 to 1,600 calories. You're eating a really good, you're having good meals if you can keep it to that 15 to 1,600 calories. And if you look at that, if you keep your breakfast to a couple hundred calories, like an egg with a jalapeno and a slice of avocado with salt and pepper, and the oils, you're not, you're up there not even at 200 calories. And then if you add the bread, you're up there around 200 to 250, but you're eating something healthy. And you can stay along that with eating your PB and oats, but you've got to make sure that you only have a small amount if you decide to go that path. And of course, a lot of people love fruit for breakfast. There's nothing wrong with that, but just know if you're just eating fruit and it's full of sugar, depending on the fruit, you have to be careful because you'll spike your blood and you won't be able to metabolize or to really burn things as efficiently as if you would have had protein in vegetables like broccoli or avocado and things like that. So anyway, we'll keep talking about it, but I do want you guys to be excited about what you're doing and about eating good things as you're trying to get bad things out of your body. And also remember to look yourself in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself, tell yourself you're wonderful, and then feel that way and treat yourself that way throughout the day. Thanks.